Good morning. It is a good morning. It's a great morning. I'm trying to be a morning person, you guys, but I hurt my ear. I had a new piercing, and I definitely just pushed that. Ouch. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to be a morning person, but the morning is not trying to be me, you know. But it's okay because I just read the Proverbs, and something stuck out to me. At least to me, it stuck out to me as an individual. Let's pray in. Dear Jesus, we thank you for today. We thank you for your presence, for your spirit. I pray, God, that you would speak to the person across the screen, God, that you would bless them, God, with something you want them to hear, God, that you would touch them with your voice, God. Open their ears, their heart, their mind to your word, God. Help me to deliver it the right way, God. Remove my flesh and in place with your spirit, God. I pray, God, that it be you speaking, God. Let me be your beacon. Let me be your megaphone. Love you and I thank you and I praise your precious name. Amen. Amen. Alright, so I read Proverbs 23. Highlighted a couple of stuff. I'm going to tell you what I highlighted and then I'm going to tell you what stuck out to me. This is what I did last time, right? Yes. Okay. I'm really tired, guys. I didn't wake up long ago. I woke up. Was this in there? Shoot. Yeah, I didn't wake up long ago. I had to force. It took me 2 hours to force myself to wake up. We'll say 1. And I woke up at 9 something, maybe 8 something. I don't know. I woke up and I kept fighting it for a hot minute. I got through. Anyways, all right. Proverbs 23. The title is "Restrain Yourself." All right. So for verses. Wait, what? Why does it say? Oh, is it separating the pieces of advice? That makes sense, right? Why is this numbered like that? 30 precepts of the sages. Interesting. Okay. 1 verses 1. Oh no, that's not what I highlighted. I highlighted verses 4 through 5. Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Restrain yourself. Riches disappear in the blink of an eye. Wealth sprouts wings and flies off into the wild blue yonder. Love that verse because it says so much. To me, it's riches are the materialistic things, the tangible things. Don't waste your time trying to get stuff that can be gone like that, literally. But instead, spend your time trying to get things. When you think of wealth, I think of something that's built and something that your descendants or generations after you have access to. So, a really good example of that is God. My parents see, well, my abuelito was the first one that was Christian, which is my dad's dad, and my mom's mom. So it was one parent on each side that served the Lord. And then now they're both serving the Lord. So now I have 2 parents that serve the Lord. And then for my intentions, for my children, their parents serve the Lord. My sister is going to get, it trickles down, and it's something that has a very lasting effect when you pray and you cover your family, and that's something that can outlive you. I mean, you think of Abraham, his descendants was blessed because of him, or because of the Lord, because of his relationship with the Lord. So that's what I think of wealth. I think of something that can pass down. I think of things that it sticks, if you build principles of love in your children, it only grows in strength. You create habits and cycles that are really powerful. I didn't even mean to talk about that. Anyways. Then I made a note because one of the verses say, "Don't bother talking sense to fools to only poke fun at your words." I underlined fools and I said, "Show me who they are." Because I'm one to talk sometimes. Not in college. I'm not really much of a talker here. But when home and stuff. So I was just God, show me who you think. I'm so sorry. I just wanted God to show me, hey, don't waste your time. Which I'm sure he wouldn't do. Everything is for a reason. But, you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. I just wanted God to show me, hey, don't waste your, don't drain yourself talking to this person. And then that's verse 9. And then verse 10 through 11, I highlighted orphan and advocate. To paraphrase this verse is basically, hey, don't be coming for orphans because they have an advocate who, Like, what does he say? We'll go to bat for them. And they capitalize A, which to me means they're talking about God. Because whenever I talk about him, I make sure whatever it is, like, it's him, is capitalized. So, yeah, people who don't have a parent have a big dog parent who will advocate for them, which is the Lord. 17 through 18. Soak yourself in the fear of the Lord. That's where your future lies. Then you won't be left with the armload of nothing. I thought this verse was beautiful. The first part was, don't for a minute envy careless rebels. Soak yourself in the fear of God. That's where your future lies. Then you won't be left with the armload of nothing. I love this verse. I'm sorry. It's really self-explanatory. We're constantly told, like, put all the eggs in your basket, all your eggs in one basket, and let that basket be the Lord, and you'll never ever regret it. So if you're told something enough, why not listen to it? Why not? If it's like, come on, what can you lose, really? So put all your eggs in the basket of the Lord, guys. That's where your future's at. That's what it says. This was the wisest man in the Bible, the wisest man in the world. Because he did y'all gotta read it on Solomon. He was David's son. He was King David's son. Very flawed individual, by the way. Like, he wasn't perfect, which is so interesting to me. He wasn't perfect by a long shot, like any of us. But he was one of the wisest people ever. I'm talking, like, he was so wise because he did everything. Like, everything. Like, oh my gosh, am I wrong? No, I'm right. This is Proverbs, so this is him giving advice, but he wrote another book called Ecclesiastes, and he talks about basically everything he did to get so wise. That's in my head, but it's him. That's basically what it is. Yeah, it's everything he did essentially to get wise. Like, he tried everything. Like, he drank all the alcohol, he slept with all the women, he built all the houses, he did mad stuff, and he was just like, there's literally nothing for you there. It's not fulfilling in any way, and if it is, it's really momentary. So yeah, he wrote that book too, so that's why he's so him. And then I highlighted part of 23 to 25. Sorry, I was yawning is really, I'm sorry, let me read. I want to say this is 23 to 24, but it says, buy truth, don't sell it for love or money, buy wisdom, buy education, buy insight. I don't have to say much. It's telling you where to invest your time. Buy truth, don't sell it for love or money, meaning don't lie in the name of trying to get people to love you or trying to get money, which a lot of people do. Buy wisdom, buy education, buy insight. Which is funny, my psychology professor, he was like, don't focus on, like, trying to get to a grade or trying to have an end goal. Just focus on, like, building your skills and just getting as educated as you can. And that goal naturally just comes with it. Which is so insane, as I was praying. And I was like, God, let my success and the fulfillment of my dreams just be the buy factor. I hope I'm using that word right. If I'm not, just use the word effect. But I like the word buy. Let it be the buy factor of me just serving you and me just trying to go after you. So it's like, don't let that be my end goal. Let my end goal be me just continuing to serve you and live out the purpose you created me for. And let what I want, as in film directing, to travel, like the things in my life, to like retire my family, like things like that. Let it be just the buy factor of me serving you. Like, let it just be a natural thing of like, okay, that's because I'm serving God. Like, I wouldn't have that if I wasn't serving God. Like, let me think like that, you know? And I think it's a beautiful thing to think that way, because then you're always pushing and pushing. And my psychology professor also said that if you guys don't know what dopamine is basically the thing in our mind that makes us happy. Like, it's the trigger in our mind, I guess, that's released when we're happy, and it makes us feel really good. And people get that from drugs, which is why they keep going for it. But he was like, we actually gain more dopamine from going for a goal than when we actually achieve a goal. Like, have you ever achieved a goal and like your dopamine's momentarily, or like your happiness is momentarily, and then you're like, oh, okay, like it's over? But he was like, you actually achieve more dopamine in the idea of getting that thing, like the idea of pushing towards that thing, and that's psychologically like proven. So I think it's interesting that God has us telling us like to be like constantly looking for him and constantly like serving him, because we're always going to keep, we always have something to go towards, and that's where we find our dopamine. If God was to just be like, okay, here's what you want, you wouldn't be satisfied with that. You wouldn't be satisfied with that for long, and eventually you'd want something else, and it's just a cycle. And that's why I think he just doesn't grant us stuff. He lets us go for these things in life. So I'm saying that I'm not even at the spot I wanted to talk about. Okay, this is the one I wanted to talk about. This is in, okay, so they put 29 through 35 all together. The 35, 34, 30. I'm at like the end 30s. Let me just show you. You see it? They put it all together. So I'm like over here. I'm gonna say like 31 maybe, or like 30. Yeah. Okay. Don't judge wine. Oh no, this is 29 to 35. Okay, so this might be 30, or like 31, 32. Don't judge wine by its label or its bouquet or its full-bodied flavor. Judge it rather by the hangover it leaves you with, the splitting headache, the queasy stomach. I'm not talking about wine when I read this, and neither do I think he was. He could have been. He definitely could have been. There's a really strong possibility he was talking about it. But what I interpreted it as, don't perceive people by everything on the outside, which is insane to be like, because it's like, but that's how you perceive people. You perceive them by how they like present themselves and how they act towards you and da. But what I thought was interesting about this is in the context of people you're close to or people you want to be close to, don't perceive them by the outside things. Like, don't perceive it by the full-bodied flavor, its bouquet, its label. Like, don't perceive it by the layer stuff. He's like, really actually judge it. It says judge it rather by the hangover it leaves with you. So judge these people by how you feel after you've interacted with them, not the idea. And I think I'm an idea person. I like fall in love with ideas, and I fall in love with potential, and that's what I do that. But I think this verse is kind of like telling me to do the opposite, in the sense of like, no, don't do that. You judge a person by how you feel after. If you feel drained after you interact with a person, if you feel drained after you talk to a person, if you feel drained after you hang out with a person, that's just not the person for you. I hate to break it to you. If you feel more drained after you meet somebody, that is a big red flag of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't hang out with this person. But if you feel like fulfilled, if you feel like happy, if you like, maybe sometimes if you feel nothing after, like that's also an emotion that's nice every once in a while, because it's like they didn't drain you. They didn't particularly fill you up, but you don't feel any type of, like, you would do it. That's a weird feeling to feel, but I wouldn't, like, cut off a person for it. But I would distance myself from somebody who makes me feel empty after I meet with them. And I wouldn't keep going back for the idea that one day it's going to make sense. I wouldn't keep going back that one day everything is going to be worth it. The fact that I kept pushing through when they were doing these things to me, it's going to be worth it at the end of the day. No. Don't do that. It's going to leave you, he says, it leaves you with the splitting headache, the queasy stomach. And I'm like, it just spoke to me, because I'm definitely an idea person. Like, I will stick with you for the idea, and I'll stick with you because I know there's potential there, because I see something and I'm like, oh, I've done it before. And I would keep going back to these people, knowing every time I left, I felt drained and, like, sad and, like, belittled. But I would keep going back because, like, I also saw these people outside of my personal interactions with them. Like, I would see them with others, and I would see them by themselves, and I'd be like, okay, like, that's a cool person. But then when it came to me, that was not a cool person. So, yeah, I just want y'all to realize, like, don't be going for ideas, guys. Don't be going for the fa-fa, the la-la. That's a really big one I wanted to emphasize. I don't know who needs to hear this, but yeah, don't go for that. It's just not beneficial to you in any slight. it's draining. I understand, and I'm saying this because I understand, like, I've personally gone through it in the sense of, like, I judged people by their ideas, the idea and their potential, and and I would judge people because I would see little sparks of it every now and then that keep me going and keep me tolerant on a lot of stuff. And I think the same thing is with wine. It feels good in the beginning, and it makes you want to keep going and doing more because it makes you feel good in the beginning, and then eventually, before you know it, you're hungover. Same thing with people. It feels good, and then you keep going, and then you're drained. My sister just texted me. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say to you guys. That was the main one, but I feel like I ended up saying more than I intended, which I'm happy about because that was the spirit. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. I will see you the next time I share something. I feel like I should be doing these daily. So just pray for me that I get the discipline to do it. Love you guys much. Remember, Jesus loves you. I love you. And Jesus' love is really all you need. You don't need my love, but I do love you a lot. Have a great day.